Let us create some data frame with dummy values in it. Okay, so we can say that where is my, so we say that data frame is equal to pt dot data frame, and let's say we want to put, let's say we want to generate how many columns, maybe 5 columns or 10 columns, for example, or 9 columns. So we can put some random values. So we can say np.random.randn, and we can say I want to generate 9 rows and 4 columns. So this is the first argument we give. Then we put something in index. So we can index this using, we can use first 8 letters in the series A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, 9, right? So we have, we are planning for 9 rows. So we need to have one value each for the row index. And we can also give the names to the column index. So we can give the names to the columns. We say that columns is equal to, again, list A, B, C, D. So if you get confused, right, I mean, what you can do is you can see what this returns. This will return an array, right, with 4 names, A, B, C, and D. And in the same way, you can see what this one returns. Right? It returns an array with 9 elements in it. Right? So now when I do this, I think we made some mistakes. So we have to import numpy as np and then execute this. Okay, now you can see the shape of this data frame. You can see that there are 9 rows and 4 columns. You can get the column names. You can see that A, B, C, and D are 4 columns here. You can see the info, right? So you can see all of them are non-null. There are 4 columns each with 9 values, and these are float 64 values. And you can do df.head to examine the values. Yeah, now you can see this, right? You can see that we are printing first 5 rows, that's what head prints by default, right? So this is the index, right? So the first row is indexed by letter A, second is indexed by B, C, D, and E, and there are 4 columns, and these values are generated using a random number generation. So you can put anything here, right? You can say 1000, whatever. But remember, you will have to create those many. You need to create the labels for this, right? But if you say that I can also do this, right? Another df, I copy everything, and what I do is I say that generate 100, right? And here I say that get me range to 100. We'll quickly check here, right, what range does. Whether this works or not. Okay. We have to do range only. Now you can just see whether this generates something like this. Yeah, it generated. You can do head. Yeah, so now you can see that since you have said index is range 100, right? So here the rows are indexed by number. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So you can also do range between 10 and 110. I'll take a question. Wait a minute. Now you can see that the range, the index started at 0. It will go all the way up to 110, 109. So we'll say another df.tell. This will print last 5 elements. Yeah. Okay. Any questions?
Sir, I have a question. The list A, B, C, D, E, F, I, J, you have given first nine character, right? But if it is more
Right.
than if it is more than 26, then
Hmm.
it will be a problem.
So
But
that's what. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I did here, right? Instead of characters, we can use numbers.
yeah,
Just
but
what we have done here.
but my question is different actually. Suppose
Hmm.
if I use A to Z and then A B A C like that, I mean what
Hmm.
the Excel is using in the for the column name, that can
Hmm.
be done by, I mean we can give some format or anything to
Yeah,
generate
yeah,
the.
you can give a list. You can give a list of the names. It's okay. Yeah. But for that, you will have to write code to generate that. If you are thinking of generating it, you'll have to
Okay,
write code to generate it.
okay, 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 I got it.
Yeah. I'm just showing something very simple in the context of pandas.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, it's okay.
All right. So now we can do many things. So let's say now you want to find out. Uh, okay, let's quickly do selection. You can do location. Now this will result into error, right? Because df, right? So what is there in df index? If you say, you will see what is there in the row index. But if you now use df.lock of 0, this will result into error. This is an error, right? It says that see, this value 0 is not there in the index list. That's why this will result into an error. But if I do a, yeah, it printed the values. Got it? So in lock, whatever you use, make sure that this is part of this index. Okay, we can also do this df of lock. I want a, and then I want something. Yeah, you can see that now instead of 4 values, it only printed 2 values for column B and D, B and C. Yeah, you can see that now there are 3 values that are printed. Getting it? Or I can also do is df dot. If I want to print multiple rows, I can also say that print everything between A and D and all columns. You see this? So we are getting all rows with names A, B, C, and D. Hmm? Is this clear? Any questions on this? This is nothing different. I'm just reiterating this again, what we studied in the last class. And I hope you're following what I'm doing. Huh?
How did you make the table column? What did you click? I missed it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let me run this again. So it comes like this, right? Then there are two of these
Okay,
icons.
it's
Do they
okay.
come for you? Yeah,
Yes.
this will basically print some graphs, I guess. I've never tried this. Yeah, it printed graphs. So you don't even have to write code now for these kind of things. It is there. You can see distributions and whatnot. I mean, if this suffices your work, uh, you can also look at this in the table format. And because of this table, right, you can get sorting and other things for
Yes.
free. Yeah, so this is useful to basically, you can also put filters here, just like you put in Excel, right? All of that is possible now. You can put filters saying that I want just B and C index. This index might be different. This is like index 1, for example. Or I say index A. Say A, yeah. You can get A to B. This won't work. A comma B. Okay. Index A. Yeah, all these type of things you can do here. Yeah, these are some advanced features of Colab. I mean, this has nothing to do with Pandas or data frame. If you use Jupyter Notebook, you won't see these type of things. Okay, that's not part of our. We are not studying Colab. We are studying Pandas. Okay, go
How
ahead.
to get that analytics symbol?
It is there in Colab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is just for small purpose. Okay. Any other questions? So now you can also see how you can get the same result with iLock. So we say we want first 4 rows, right? 0 to 4. Yeah, you can see that the results are the same. We did iLock. In iLock, we are specifying the integer indices. We are saying that get me first 4 rows.
So iLock always the indices starts from 0 by default.
Yeah. By default, it starts from 0. You can also do this. It will result into the same thing. Sorry, the first 4. Yeah. You can also do first 4 iLock. Okay, and here also you can say you want the second and third, for example. Now you will not see all the rows. You just saw only one of that, right? So this is 0, 1, 2. If I say between 2 and 4, you will see C and D. Or you can say between 1 and 3. So now with iLock, we can also refer to these columns by the integers. So for example, this may not work. We'll check df.ilock. Let's say I want to print first 4. See, this doesn't work. iLock always requires numerical indexers. This won't work. So keep this in mind. If you're using iLock, you have to always specify only integer indexing. Yeah. Yeah. Are you following along? Yeah, Shayan, go ahead.
Sir, in the log query where you are using the second column for the selection of row columns, right? So is it really necessary if I want to print all the columns? Do I have to like write the colon, or maybe I can just leave it?
Yeah, you don't have to write colon even. By default, what happens is that iLock, right? If you do not specify anything, it is by default colon.
Yes.
So it is not required, but I'm just showing it to you, right? This will also work. Or even this will work, right? So you can also do df.ilock. If you want all rows, all rows from the second column, for example.
Yes. Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
Okay, any questions? Any other questions? All right, I think this should be clear now. And you also had a live session, right, last Sunday. So I'm sure Manoj has also touched upon all these points. I'm reiterating all of these things to make sure that all of you are following along and there are no issues. because it's quite fundamental. If you understand this lock, ilog, those are two very, very fundamental things. So are you familiar with lambda function in Python? Are you
No, sir.
You're not familiar with lambda function in Python?
No, sir.
No, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, somehow familiar.
Okay. So lambda function is a basically way of writing nameless functions. You don't have. So if you want to define functions, what happens is that you define the function, you give it a name, you write the body, right? So, but sometimes what happens is that you don't have to. You may not want to use that function again, but you want to have some nameless function. So I'll show you one example of this. Okay. Right. So we do this. So we can say df.location. So we will define the selector. So our selector is, we say that our selector is a lambda function, for example. We say lambda df. We say that wherever this value greater than 0, I want to select it, for example. I'm going to check whether this works. What is there in the selector? Okay, so this is a lambda function. Now what we'll do is we'll use df.lock, and we say I want to use selector. I want to see all the rows where this selection criteria is met. Okay, this has failed. We'll see. Okay, we will debug
Sir,
it
I
a bit.
think you have put it in the column section, in the log.
Which is okay. Okay, I see. I see what is happening here. If we just do df.log selector, yeah, this works. Thanks. Thanks for letting me. So what we are basically doing is we are selecting all the rows where the value in column A is greater than 0. So we are passing the data frame as an input to this function. And here in the function body, we are saying, we are basically checking whether the value in the column A is greater than 0. So we can also do this, right? We can, instead of 0, we say 0.5. And now you saw only 6 rows, right? Earlier there were 9 rows. We'll compare it here quickly. It's a 0.5. And you have 6 rows here, you have 9 rows here. Okay, so you can have these type of lambda functions also. Okay, in the selector. Okay, that is another one. What else? We want to now also understand the we want to understand the and type of things, right? So we can also try that in lambda function, for example, right? So we say selector so where and df of b is less than 0.2. You can see that there are just 2 rows, right? You can also quickly check that, right? So greater than 0.5 and less than 0.2. So greater than 0.5, less than 0.2. This is false. Greater than 0.5, but this criteria is not met. Yeah, and greater than 0.5, less than 0.2. So these 2 entries, A and I, made it to the list. Okay. You can also you need not necessarily write lambda function for this, but I thought I'll just show you. You can also do this with lambda. So this is called, these are called function selectors. Okay. Okay, so you can also do it this way. So we can say condition for checking, and we just put this condition for checking here. Or condition for evaluation or for selection. Now you see that this will be Control C, Control C. This will be a list of true and false, and when you put this list only, yeah, this should also work, I guess. Yeah. Why? Yeah, this works. Only 2 of them are, I think this was not working in my opinion. No, this was also working, this also works, okay. Getting it? So there are these 2 ways in which you can write it. You can write either a lambda function, or you can write simple selection criteria and then get this list and then put that list in the data frame selector, and you will get the rows that are meeting the selection criteria or selection condition. Okay.
What is the purpose of lambda cell then, if we can do the conditional statement? Where do we use at least?
Where do we exactly use lambda function? So let's say these conditions are right now simple conditions, but instead of these conditions, you want to do some mathematical operations, mathematical calculations or whatever, right? Then you can probably do lambda functions over there. Okay, so can you try a couple of them now with or condition, and so you can try with or condition or operator rather, or operator, or is done like this and not operator. Okay, so you can also use or like this, say or, and you see more of these type of things. You can put a not, you can put a not here, this or not this. Yeah. Okay. Is this clear how to write complex conditions?